So before we plug it in and power it on, let's go ahead and take a closer look at all the features. So starting up here on the top, we have the spool holder. I just realized that you could probably move it even more farther this way and put it in between this bolt right here. So I might do that. So up here, everything's quite basic. We move to the back, we can see the lead screw just kind of hangs there. There's no support here. As we go down, we can see our extruder with the extruder knob and the motor underneath. And as we go this way, we have the X-axis motor. The X-axis switch is in there. The X-axis rail with the hot end riding on it. And the X-axis tensioner over here. As we go down, we have the Z-axis motor and our switch that we installed. And at the back, we have the Y-axis motor. And then there's this enclosure here that kind of hides everything, which is, I guess, good, you know, not to get anything caught in there, but not very good for servicing. Now, there is a little bolt right there that you take out, and all this comes off, and the Y-axis switch comes off with it. So good for safety, but maybe not so good for serviceability. And as we go down, we can see that's where our switch is for the voltage. By the way, the power supply is a MeanWell, and it's this whole piece right over here, so it's part of the structure of the printer. And over here we have the power inlet socket with an on and off switch, and the socket is fused. And it's kind of an interesting design because it kind of protrudes out here to the very back, but definitely a pretty nice look overall. So the bed is heated, and this is the wire that comes out of it. It looks like it's strain relief somewhat, and the strain relief just hooks up to one of the legs on the bolt of the bed. And I like how Creality uses this cable protectors. They're quite nice and premium feeling. So as far as the bed is concerned, we have the glass on top. Then we have an aluminum sheet, which is the heating element underneath that, and it's not insulated, but technically not really needed for this bedside. So we have 4 large adjustable knobs. So as we go this way, we can see we have the display here, cable running out from the bottom. And I definitely like this feature that you can pull it off. So this might be useful to some people. So a pretty large screen on this display. We have a protector here. Let's go ahead and peel that off. And we'll check out shortly here what it actually looks like. So as we go this way in front of the printer, we can see we have a little drawer here. So the old Ender-3 didn't have a drawer, but you were able to, you know, print something out to put in there. But here they included an actual drawer, and it's enclosed. But obviously you can store all your tools and little things from this printer. And it does completely come out, which gives you additional storage on the side and the back. And there is a little nub right there that locks it in when you close it so it doesn't pop out. Very nice drawer. And as we keep going this way, we can see this is where we're going to plug in our micro SD card, and this is our USB connection. And just on top of that here, we have the specs of the printer. So we can see it's Ender-3 version 2. That's the power supply. That's the print size, which is 220 by 220 by 250, and it weighs about 8 kilograms. So yeah guys, that's pretty much the printer, and as you guys can see that Creality really fixed all the issues that the earlier version has, and even improved on the Pro version, and gave us this version 2. Alright, so let's plug our power cable in. Now again, make sure your voltage is set to the correct setting. So I'm going to hit the power switch, and we should power on, and there we go. So we got a Creality logo in the load bar, and there it goes. The next thing we need to do is home the printer and check to make sure all of our axes work. Now before we do that, we need to run the bed down as much as we can, or a good amount. And the reason you want to do this is because you don't want your nozzle to hit the glass. And another way to check that after you run it down is to just push it down to the end stop switch, because that's where it's going to stop it, and you can look underneath and see if you just have an air gap, and we definitely have one. Alright, so I'm going to use this rotary knob here to select prepare and then out to home, and there it goes. Alright, so it looks like everything is working, and there goes the Z. So here guys, you can see the display a little better, and it's very nice, and I love this control knob. It's very responsive. It's not laggy or anything strange. Everything is very quick. So everything is laid out on this nice screen, and on the bottom here you can see we have information, which is the hot end, and then the bed, looks like the speed, and then the Z-axis. I think that's fan speed. So it doesn't appear that this printer has a leveling assistant. So that just means that we have to level the bed manually. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to out of home. So once that homes, then you can go to disable steppers. So when we do that, we're going to be able to move the hot end. You will have to be very careful with the Z-axis coming down because it moves quite easy. So you're going to need a sheet of paper. I'm just going to use this Creality Thank You. And so what we need to do is we need to level the 4 corners, and we're simply just going to go to the corner, but you don't want to go all the way on the edge. And so we're going to get that close. And then we're going to go to the other side and then get that close, and then do the back corner. and then go back to where you started. And you want to do this a few times till it's all close, because every time you change it here, it changes somewhere else. So you definitely want to go around at least 4 or 5 times. Now when you think you're really close, what you want to do next, preheat the bed and hot end. So here under prepare, I'm going to click on preheat PLA, and we can see that's going to go to 185 on the hot end and 45 on the bed. So as that heats up, let's go ahead and out of home again, because we want to make sure that we have the right offset on the Z-axis. Then we're going to disable the steppers, and so as that's heating up, we should be able to get our final adjustment in, which is going to be very slight. Alright, so the bed is hot and the nozzle is hot, and it looks like we have a very close measurement right here. And this is roughly how you level the bed. Now, take your time and do this right. Like, even if it takes you 15-20 minutes, just keep doing it, go over and over again until you know that every corner of the bed is as flat as it can be. And keep homing it, that way your reference is correct. So let's take a quick look at the display. So this is the home where it starts. You have the Creality logo up here. Then we have a print, a prepare, control, and info. And the way you toggle with those is you just rotate this knob and you can see it all moves around. And on the bottom, this information stays as like a little dedicated dashboard. So under print, this is where we're going to print our files once we insert our SD card. Prepare is where our tools are. So we have move. You can move all the axes, including the extruder. Disable steppers. Out of home. Set home offsets. Preheat PLA, preheat ABS, cool down, so this is going to cool down the bed and the hot end, and then language selection, which we have English here, or Chinese, 2 options. So let's go back. Here we have the control, so we can control the temperature. You can actually set the preheat settings right here, so for PLA you can adjust that what you want. So let's say we'll adjust the bed to 50 instead of 45. You can also set the fan speed here, and then we can save the parameters by clicking on the bottom. And that's it. So that's these options here. So then we have motion, and here we can have max speed, max acceleration, max corner, and transmission ratio. So these are more advanced settings. So if you know what you're doing, you do have these options. Storage configuration, read configuration, and reset configuration. So we're going to leave all these alone. Let's go back, and then we have an info, and this is about our printer. Alright, so yeah, pretty basic and very intuitive controls. And I'm definitely loving the navigation and the UI, very nice. So for the next part, let's go ahead and put in our filament. So I'm going to use this roll of blue Overture PLA, and this is where the spool is going to go. And so we're going to take our filament, and we're going to put it straight into the extruder arm right here. So this arm does release once you push it, and you definitely want to cut your filament on an angle. That way it can feed in a lot easier. But what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of push it in there into the gear, and then we can use our extruder knob here to push it the rest of the way. So as we feed it through, eventually it's going to go all the way through the tube and then out the hot end. And there we go. So I met some resistance. So now I am pushing in the filament, and we can see it coming out the bottom. So now let's go ahead and grab our micro SD card, and it is an 8 gig, and we're going to insert it into the slot upside down. Now if we click on print, well, that's kind of odd. There's nothing on the card. I tried to restart the printer and reinsert it, but maybe there's nothing included. Usually they include like a test model or 2. Okay, so maybe we should pop this into the computer and see what's on there. Alright, so here we are at the computer, and here I have the SD card open, and this is what's on it, and sure enough, I don't see any models on here. So the first thing we got here is our PDF manual, then our software. So if you wanted to use the Creality slicer, you do have that option here. And if we look here, we see some G codes. So we have a cat, a dog, and a pig. Okay, so there were some G codes, they were just hiding in this file, and the printer was not. So here's another file called drive, and I'm guessing these are drivers for something. So here's a folder that says troubleshooting, some more information with PDFs, and a model folder, and I guess this is more stuff to print if you wanted to. So these are all STL files. So yeah, they give you a few things here that you can print. Here it looks like we have a little video, I guess, of how to put this thing together, and some other file here. So instead of using those models, let's go ahead and slice our own model in Cura. And I prefer using this slicer here. So we're going to go over real quick of what to do. So if you're new to Cura, you're going to download it. Then you're going to be at this area here where it says add a printer, and you're going to click on non-network printers, and you're going to go down to Creality, and it's alphabetical. Now they don't have the version 2 Ender-3, but it's pretty much the same thing as the regular one and the Pro. So I use the Pro profile for my printer, and so you're going to add it, and this is what you'll get. So up here you can see all the settings that I have, the layer height, the wall count, and all that stuff. The shell, I like to have 3 20% infill usually is good. 200 on the temperature, 50 on the build plate, 45 on the speed. So we got 6.5 millimeters traction at 25 millimeter speed. So everything else is quite basic. Now the only thing else here is I use skirt instead of anything else, and I have 3 lines going around the model. So that's pretty much it. So it's quite basic. And a lot of people ask me for my profile, but my profile is nothing special. It's pretty much just general. I normally don't depend on the profile setting as much as I depend on the printer itself. So let's go ahead and grab a STL model and drop it in. So we'll do this calibration cube, and we can see it here on the platform. So if you select it, we can move it around in every directions, and you can enter these manually. You can scale it up and down. You can rotate it around, mirror it. Here you have more advanced options. So when you have all these parameters where you want them, all you're gonna do is click the slice button and it's gonna slice it. So according to our slicing, it'll take 41 minutes and 5 grams of filament. So if we click on this preview button, I'll zoom in here a little bit. Here we can see every layer and how it's gonna print. We can see that that's our skirt, and then it starts printing the model. So now we can go ahead and save it. And Cura sees that we have the micro SD card inserted, so we can save it straight to there. I'm gonna click that, and we can eject it from here. And now we can go to our printer and print this little cube. So as you guys can see, Cura is not very hard to use. If you want to learn more in depth of how to use the slicer, there's a lot of good videos out there. All right, now that we sliced the file, let's go ahead and print it. So we have a calibration cube right here, it says. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. Grab this little booger here. All right, so it looks like it's ready to go. So let's hope our offset is going to be all right. Okay, and it looks pretty good right off the bat, as far as I can see. All right, well, it looks like the offset is just right off the bat. So naturally, as we're printing, our screen here changed a bit. So on the top here, we have the file that we're printing, the progress bar, and the percentage that's finished, the printing time that's passed, and the remaining time, which looks like it doesn't know at this point. And we do have a few options here that we can tune with. So we have tune, pause, and stop. So if we go to tune, so here we can see we can adjust the print speed, the nozzle temperature, the bed temperature, the fan speed, and the Z-axis offset, which I guess we could do that right on the fly. So if you need to do that, you can. Look at that, that's pretty cool. So yeah, very basic and good options. All right, so it looks like our print has successfully started and everything looks good. And by the way, guys, the printer is quite quiet except for the fans. So you can hear there's no stepper driver noise, but there is quite a bit of fan noise, and that's coming from all around, including the bottom. And you guys can see our extruder knob there turning, indicating us, that the filament's going in. Well, I'm pretty excited to see what the calibration cube will look like. I have really high hopes for this printer. Compared to the Ender-3 and the Ender-3 Pro out of the box, this thing should give us a much nicer finish. All right, and our first print is done and it looks really good. So let's go ahead and try out how this perforated bed works. When it heats, it really sticks. And then as it's cooled off, it should pop right out. So it is quite cool right now. So I'm just gonna push on it. It just comes right off, no problem. And we can see our bottoms are very nice because of that type of bed. So top is looking also very good, but what's more important is going to be our X and Y axes. So the Y is looking really nice. Now there is just a slight hint of layering, but it's very minor. Here's our Y wall. So very minimal vibrations. And here we have the X, also very nice. No ghosting looks like. So very accurate. Now, after running the machine for a bit, we want to double check everything again. We want to check, make sure our belts are still tight, and they might have loosened up a bit actually, so we need to tighten them up just a bit. Same thing for the Y here. Also need to tighten that a bit. As far as our first print goes, a very reasonable one indeed. So it seems like it did great overall.